CinePals. What is going on, everybody? I'm Jaby Kuwait, joined by Chara Kirk. And that's not a Chara Kirk. Wow, autopilot. Whoa.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
Unbelievable.
That's the third time this week that's
All right,
happened.
let me go get her, because I'm not the one he wants to be with anymore. So I got deleted.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Jaby Kuwait. Welcome to CinePals. I am joined by Kristen STEPHENSONPINO.
What is up?
And we are watching A Few Good Men for the very, very first time. I have long wanted to watch this film and finally have the opportunity to do so because Kristen is unfamiliar with it. If you guys are watching with us on YouTube, you are seeing a cut-down version of our reaction. We can only show a limited amount of picture-in-picture. If you want to watch the whole movie with us without any cuts or interruptions, head over to our Patreon page or become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction. You'll just need your own copy of the film, which we are watching through Amazon Prime Video. So you can open up the movie side by side with our reaction. We give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. If you're watching on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching with us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. I believe this is written by Aaron Sorkin. If you are unfamiliar with him, he has fantastic dialogue. I was talking to Chara about this the other day. I'm like, if we were to have Shakespeare's from our generation remembered like 500 years from now, I feel like Aaron Sorkin would definitely be one of those writers that's remembered throughout time. Aaron Sorkin and David Mamet, those are the two. And so very excited to get into this. And here we go. Nice. Nice camera work. Uh-oh. Is he gonna get beat up?
Oh, no. Ah! Are they gonna kill him?
Oh gosh, we're off to a rough start.
This is so messed up.
How can you do this with Jesus right there? The cross is right there. I was baptized Catholic as a kid. So even today, removed from all of that, I'd still get a little bit like wary of doing stuff around a crucifix. What a contrast. It's so dark. Right? And then it's like happy marching band music. So you don't know anything about this movie at all? No. Oh, okay, great.
just show a lot.
No, I just remember like there's like a very, very famous court scene later in the film that's like everyone knows about that court scene. So
okay.
Yeah.
2 Marines, a Lance Corporal Harold Dawson and a Private Loudon Downey, entered the barracks room of a PFC William Santiago and assaulted him. Santiago died at the base hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Dawson and Downey are both recruiting poster Marines, and Santiago was known to be a screw-up. I was thinking it sounded an awful lot like a code red.
Christ.
Sir, I'd like to have them moved up to Washington and assigned counsel. Someone who can really look into this. Someone who possesses not only the legal skill, but a familiarity with the inner workings of the military. In short, I be the one that it be me who is assigned to represent them myself.
That was rough.
Commander Galloway, why don't you get yourself a cup of coffee?
Thank you, sir. I'm fine.
Commander, I'd like you to leave the room so we can talk about you behind your back.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, at least he's honest.
Yeah.
She's not cut out for litigation.
She's a hell of an investigator, Jerry.
And internal affairs, sure,
she
she can crawl up a lawyer's ass with the best of them. But when it comes to trial work, I think...
I know. All passion, no street smarts. Bring her back in. Well, from what I understand from your colleagues, you're much too valuable in your present assignment to be wasted on what I'm sure will boil down to a 5-minute plea bargain and a week's worth of paperwork.
Sir, I think there might be more involved than that.
Don't worry about it. I promise you, Division will assign the right man for the job.
Oh.
Damn.
Sorry. Nothing to be sorry about, Sherby. You just looked the ball into your glove. Shooting 2. Sorry.
Squad, PFC, Loudon, Downey go into Santiago's room, stuff a rag down his throat, and an hour later, Santiago's dead. Attending physician says the rag was treated with some kind of toxin.
You poisoned the rag?
Seems important to Division that this one be handled by the book, so I'm assigning co-counsel. Any volunteers?
No.
Sam.
So I got a stack of papers on my desk about a mile high.
Work with Kathy.
Hi.
Daniel Caffey, I was told to meet with,
You would not do that in the military.
There's a lot of things you wouldn't do that are in movies.
You're the attorney division assigned?
I'm lead counsel to Sam Weinberg.
I have no responsibilities here whatsoever.
Come in, please. Have a seat.
She's so annoyed.
Well, she's classier.
Yep.
Dawson's family's been contacted. Downey's closest living relative is Jetty Miller, his aunt on his mother's side. She hasn't been contacted yet. Would you like me to take care of that?
Sure, if you feel like it.
This letter makes it look like your client had a motive to kill Santiago.
Got you. And Santiago is who?
Oh my
The
god.
victim.
I'll get them to drop the conspiracy and conduct unbecoming. 12 years.
You haven't talked to a witness or looked at a piece of paper.
Pretty impressive, huh?
You're gonna have to go deeper than that.
He's so full of himself.
He is.
In exchange for my transfer off the base, I'm willing to provide you with information
an
about
illegal fence line shooting that occurred the night of August the 2nd.
Ah, of course he has to be in this.
Well, apparently he's not very happy down here at Shangri-La because he's written letters to everybody but Santa Claus asking for a transfer. And now he's telling tales about a fence line shooting. Maybe we as officers have a responsibility to this country to see that the men and women charged with its security are trained professionals. Yes, I'm certain that I read that somewhere. Santiago stays where he is. We're gonna train the lad.
Dang, you had it out.
John, you're in charge.
Lieutenant, would you be very insulted if I recommended to your supervisor that he assign different counsel?
Why?
But I don't think you're fit to handle the defense.
You don't even know me. Ordinarily, it takes someone hours to discover I'm not fit to handle a defense.
You went to Harvard Law, then you joined the Navy. Probably because that's what your father wanted you to do. And now you're just treading water for the 3 years you've got to serve in the JAG Corps. If that's the situation, that's fine. I won't tell anyone. But it's my feeling that if this case is handled in the same fast food, slick-ass, Persian bazaar manner, which you seem to handle everything else, then something's gonna get missed. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I allowed Dawson and Downey to spend any more time in prison than absolutely necessary because their attorney had predetermined the path of least resistance.
Damn.
Wow.
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 I'm sexually aroused.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think your client's murdered anyone.
The doctor's report says that Santiago died of asphyxiation brought on by acute lactic acidosis, and that the nature of the acidosis strongly suggests.
Oh, here he comes.
Now, I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty bad.
He thinks they're guilty.
You know what a code red is?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What a pity.
Uh-oh.
That triggered him.
I associate Code Red with Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Oh my gosh.
This epic joke by Robin Williams.
Did you assault Santiago with the intent of killing him?
No, sir.
What was your intent?
To train him, sir.
Train him to do what?
Train him to respect the code.
What's the code?
Unit, Corps, God, Country.
Beg your pardon?
Unit, Corps, God, Country. Sir.
Damn.
Like Spartans.
Harold, I think there's a concept you better start warming up to.
Sir.
I'm the only friend you've got.
It was just a little hazing. They just wanted him to get in line. Jeez.
Dan Caffey.
Hey.
Smiling Jack Ross.
Didn't you see his name at the beginning? All the names were at the
I
beginning.
don't look at the names. I don't know anybody's names until I only know a few names. I know faces. I don't know names. I don't remember. You're lucky I know your name.
I'm gonna give you the 12 years. Before you go getting yourself into trouble tomorrow, I think you should know. The platoon commander, Lieutenant Jonathan Kendrick, held a meeting with the men and specifically told them not to touch Santiago.
Jack Ross came to see me today. He offered me the 12 years.
Oh, that's what you wanted, right?
I know, and
Yeah, it's sus though.
I mean, I guess I'll take it up.
No, you know, his instinct.
Ross said the strangest thing to me right before I left.
There it is.
He said the platoon commander, Lieutenant Jonathan Kendrick, had a meeting with the men and specifically told them not to touch Santiago. I never mentioned Kendrick. I don't even know who he is. Nah, what the hell. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's a conspiracy to cover up.
Intuition's kicking in.
Ain't that the worst?
Yep.
You're
And
like,
you're like,
something's itchy. Like there's an itchy thought in my brain. I'm
isn't
like,
that
I just
strange
gotta
how we get
scratch
that
it.
though?
Yeah.
Like we don't know why we feel that way, but we're like, something's wrong.
Something's sus.
Something's off. It's like we can feel that.
Why does she always put her phone away when I walk in the room?
Colonel Markinson, Lieutenant Kendrick, into your office. Is that right?
Yes.
What happened then?
We agreed that for his own safety, Santiago should be transferred off the base.
Oh.
Yo.
This past February, Colonel, you received a cautionary memo from the Commander-in-Chief of the Atlantic Fleet warning that the practice of enlisted men disciplining their own wasn't to be condoned by officers.
What is your point, Joe?
She has no point. She often has no point, sir. It's part of her charm.
Stop.
We're out of here. Thank you.
My point is that I think Code Red still go on down here.
It just hit me. She outranks you, Danny.
Listen.
I want to tell you something, and listen up, because I really mean this. There is nothing on this earth sexier, believe me, gentlemen, than a woman that you have to salute in the morning.
God.
If you haven't gotten a job from a superior officer, well, you're just letting the best in life pass you by. I run my unit how I run my unit. You want to investigate me, roll the dice, and take your chances.
Santiago's transfer. You guys have paperwork on that kind of thing. I just need it for the file.
For the file?
Yeah.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Colonel Jessup, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like a copy of the transfer order.
Please.
Sir.
Say please. Is he gonna do it?
No problem.
All this intellectual jujitsu is so much fun to watch.
Did Lieutenant Kendrick order you guys to give Santiago a code red?
Yes, sir. Lieutenant Kendrick ordered us to give Santiago a code red.
Damn.
Then he went into Dawson Downey's room and specifically told him to give him a code red.
That's not what Kendrick says.
Kendrick's lying.
You have proof?
I have the defendants.
And I have 23 Marines who aren't accused of murdering a lieutenant with 4 letters of commendation.
Shit.
Jessup's star is on the rise. Division will give me a lot of room on this one to spare Jessup and the Corps any embarrassment.
How much room?
I'll knock it all down to involuntary manslaughter, 2 years or home in 6 months.
No deal, we're going to court.
Joe.
No, you're not.
Why not?
Because you'll lose. And Danny knows it. If we do go to court, I'm gonna have to go all the way. They're gonna be charged with a whole truckload. Murder, conspiracy, conduct unbecoming. And even though he's got me by the balls out here, Danny knows that in a courtroom he loses his case. He's not about to see his clients go to jail for life when he knows they could be on in 6 months. That's
Damn.
negotiation.
This is bullshit.
That's so tempting though, because they knocked it down from 12.
I know. To 6. Yeah.
Down to 2, down to 6. Well, I think the 6 months is good behavior or something. I don't know.
That's still bullshit.
Yeah.
We joined the Marines because we wanted to live our lives by a certain code. And we found it in the Corps. Now you're asking us to sign a piece of paper that says we have no honor. You're asking us for court decides that what we did was wrong, then I'll accept whatever punishment they give. But I believe I was right, sir. I believe I did my job, and I will not dishonor myself, my unit, or the Corps so that I can go home in 6 months.
Hoorah! I'm pretty sure that's what they say. Hoorah.
Semper Fi.
You tell them.
Do you think we were right?
Doesn't matter.
Do you think we were right?
I think you'd lose.
You're such a coward.
Oh.
I can't believe they let you wear a uniform.
Damn.
I'm not gonna feel responsible for this, Harold. I did everything I could. You're going to Leavenworth for the better part of your life, and you know what? I don't give a shit. What happened to saluting an officer when he leaves the room?
It's very interesting.
I love it.
Do you believe they have a case?
You and Dawson, you both live in the same dream world. It doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove. So please, don't tell me what I know and don't know I know the law.
You know nothing about the law. You're a used car salesman, Daniel.
Oh.
You're an ambulance chaser with a rank.
Damn.
You're nothing. Live with that.
Oh, she fucked him up.
Yeah.
She messed him up.
Messed me up. I feel like, oh my God.
Does defense wish to enter a plea?
Yeah. They're not guilty.
Enter a plea of not guilty for the accused. We will adjourn until 1000, 3 weeks from today, at which time this general court-martial will reconvene.
All right, we're fighting.
I need you to start on a preliminary medical profile. And Joe, we need all the proficiency and conduct reports on Dawson, Downey, and Santiago. The only thing I have to eat is Yoo-Hoo and Cocoa Puffs, so if you want anything else, bring it with you. So this is what a courtroom looks like.
All right, up for the challenge.
My father always said a jury trial is not just about the law, it's about assigning blame. Santiago's dead, and he shouldn't be. These 9 people are gonna insist. Don't flinch in front of the court members. Something doesn't go our way, don't hang your head, don't shift in your seat, don't scribble furiously. Whatever happens, you have to look like it's exactly what you knew was gonna happen. Let's do it swiftly and
don't look over anxious.
Don't wear that perfume in court.
A lot of
Hurts my
optics.
concentration.
Really?
I was talking to Sam.
Ha ha ha.
What time is it?
It's time to go home. Try to get some sleep tonight.
Is she gonna go home?
Give me a ride.
Of course she's going home. They gotta be ready.
Danny,
I know what you're gonna say. You don't have to. We've had our differences. I said some things I didn't mean. You said some things you didn't mean. But you're happy that I stuck with the case. And if you've gained a certain
She
respect
forgot
for me
something
over
in
the
there.
last 3 weeks, well, we don't have to make a whole big deal out of it. You like me, I won't make you say it.
I was just gonna tell you to wear matching socks tomorrow.
Okay. Good tip.
We're ready.
Better believe it.
That's amazing.
She is fine.
On midnight of September 6th, the accused entered the barracks room of their platoon mate, PFC William Santiago. They woke him up, tied his arms and legs with tape, and forced a rag into his throat.
When Dawson and Downey went into Santiago's room that night, it wasn't because of vengeance or hatred. It's because it was what they were ordered to do.
Government calls Mr. R.C. McGuire. Squire, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give this general court-martial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Have a seat, please, sir.
It's gonna come back at some point. He's gonna salute him again.
Oh, for sure.
Mr. McGuire, did your office receive a letter from a PFC William Santiago on 3 September of this year?
We did.
What did that letter say?
A member of Private Santiago's unit had illegally fired his weapon over the fence line.
Was that Marine identified in the letter?
The shift reported only one sentry returned his weapon to the switch with a round of ammunition missing.
Who was that?
Lance Corporal Harold Dawson. Santiago was the only eyewitness. I never had the chance to interview him, so I don't know what he saw.
And now we'll never know.
Private Santiago was admitted to the ER at 0012.
And he was pronounced dead at 0037.
Dr. Stone, what is lactic acidosis?
If the muscles and other cells of the body burn sugar instead of oxygen, lactic acid is produced. That lactic acid is what caused Santiago's lungs to bleed.
And is it possible that my cells would continue burning sugar after the rag was taken out?
Possibly. There would still be symptoms, though.
What kind of symptoms?
There are hundreds of...
Chest pains?
Yes.
Shortness of breath?
Yes.
Fatigue?
Of course.
The letter.
This is an order for Private Santiago to be put on restricted duty. Would you read your handwritten remarks at the bottom of the page, please, sir?
Oh, Lord.
Initial testing, negative. Patient complains of chest pains, shortness of breath, and fatigue. Restricted from running distances over 5 miles for 1 week.
Commander, isn't it possible that Santiago had a serious coronary condition? And it was that condition and not some mysterious poison that caused the accelerated chemical reaction?
No. Private Santiago was given a clean bill of health.
That's why it had to be poison, right, Commander?
Ooh. Ooh.
In your professional medical opinion, was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Your Honor, we renew our objection to Commander Stone's testimony and ask that it be stricken from the record.
Your objection is noted. The witness is an expert, and the court will hear his opinion.
Dr. Stone, in your expert professional...
What a dick.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
His whole career rides on that lie.
Monday the 19th, at which time the defense will call its first witness.
All rise.
Is there going to be an argument between them now?
What do you know?
I know everything.
Was it a code red?
Yes.
Did Kendrick give the order?
Yes.
Did you witness it?
I didn't need
Did you witness it?
No.
And how do you know?
He was never going to be transferred off that base.
The music.
You got the transfer order. It's got your signature.
I know. I signed it the morning you arrived in Cuba, 5 days after Santiago died.
Oh, shit. It's fake. But we already knew that.
I'm gonna get you a deal, some kind of immunity with the prosecutor about
it's the fact that he's owning up to it, okay?
Record exactly what you told me. Right now, I'm gonna check.
Like, I knew it was fake. Not that stupid, guys.
I don't want a deal. And I don't want immunity. I want you to know that I'm proud neither of what I have done nor of what I am doing.
Lieutenant, these are the last 3 pro-con reports you signed for Lance Corporal Dawson. Dawson received 2 marks of exceptional, but on this most recent report dated June 9th of this year, he received a rating of below average. Lieutenant, do you know what a code red is?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever ordered a code red?
No, I have not.
Lieutenant Kendrick, was Dawson given a rating of below average on this last report because you learned he'd been sneaking food to Private Bell?
Object! Not so fast. Lieutenant?
No.
Lance Corporal Dawson was given a below-average rating because he had committed a crime.
What crime did he commit? Dawson brought a hungry guy some food.
He disobeyed an order.
And because he did, because he exercised his own set of values, because he made a decision about the welfare of a Marine that was in...
That's a good point.
Lance Corporal Dawson disobeyed an order.
Yeah, wasn't a real order, was it? If you had ordered Dawson to give Santiago a code red...
I specifically ordered those men...
Is it reasonable to think he would have disobeyed you again?
Lieutenant, don't answer that.
You don't have to, I'm through.
Did you order Lance Corporal Dawson and Private Downey to give Willie Santiago a code red?
Uh-oh.
No, I did not.
Thank you.
He got in his head. Kiefer Sutherland's got these eyes, man. He's like, I want to kill you.
Yep.
I would cut you down.
Shaking.
There was no flight at 11 o'clock. What the f*** are you trying to pull?
The first flight stateside left Guantanamo Bay at 2300. It arrived at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland, at a few minutes past 2 in the morning.
Really? Then why isn't it listed? Well, maybe he can make it so a plane didn't take off, but I can sure as hell prove that one landed. I'll get the logbook from Andrews.
You're not going to find anything in the...
He can make an entire flight disappear?
Nathan Jessup is about to be appointed Director of Operations for the National Security Council. You don't get to that position without knowing how to sidestep a few landmines.
Thursday morning, 10 o'clock.
Private Downey, why did you go into Santiago's room on the night of the 6th?
To give Private Santiago a code red, ma'am.
And why did you give him a code red?
I was ordered to give him a code red by the platoon commander of Rifle Security Company Windward, Lieutenant Jonathan James Kendrick.
You're gonna do fine.
You think they'll let us go back to our platoon soon, ma'am?
Absolutely.
He's so naive. He's so loyal to his unit. He just wants to do his job.
In a matter of time, the trial of the 2 men charged with your son's death will be concluded. And 7 men and 2 women whom you've never met will try to offer you an explanation as to why William is dead.
Oh, jeez.
I've done as much as I can to bring the truth to light. And the truth is this. Your son is dead for only one reason. I wasn't strong enough to stop it. Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Andrew Martinson, United States Marine Corps.
What?
Private, I want you to tell us one last...
I saw that coming, though.
Why did you go to Private Santiago's room on the night of September 6th?
A code red was ordered by my platoon commander, Lieutenant Jonathan James Kendrick.
Now, you've said that your assault on Private Santiago was a result of an order that Lieutenant Kendrick gave you in your barracks room at 1620, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Did you ever actually hear Lieutenant Kendrick order a code red?
Well, Hal said that...
Private, did you ever actually hear Lieutenant Kendrick order a code red?
Oh, shit.
Did Lance Corporal Dawson tell you to give Santiago a code red?
Hal, don't look at him. Hal, Private, answer the captain's question.
Yes, Captain. I was given an order by my squad leader, Lance Corporal Harold W. Dawson, United States Marine Corps, and I followed it.
Damn, he messed them up.
Danny, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Markinson's dead. Got into full dress uniform, stood in the middle of that room, drew a nickel-plated pistol from his holster, fired a bullet into his mouth.
Why did you ask Jessup for the transfer order?
What?
In Cuba, why did you ask Jessup for the transfer
What does
order?
it matter?
Why?
I wanted the damn transfer order.
Bullshit. You didn't want the transfer order. You wanted to see Jessup's reaction when you asked for the transfer order. You had an instinct, and it was confirmed by Markinson. Now, damn it, let's put Jessup on the stand and end this thing. He told Kendrick to order the code red.
He did? That's great. Why didn't you say so? And of course, you have proof of that. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. You were sick the day they taught law at law school. Colonel Jessup, isn't it true that you ordered the code red on Santiago?
Listen, we're all a little...
I'm sorry, your time's run out. What do we have for the losers, Judge? Well, for our defendants, it's a lifetime at exotic Fort
Kind of
Leavenworth.
reminds me of Jim Carrey right now.
Lieutenant Caffey will have a long and prosperous career teaching typewriter maintenance at the Rocco Colombo School for Women.
Mental breakdown.
Yeah, it's warranted though.
Yeah.
Just like, I gotta go.
I'm sorry I lost your set of steak knives.
I wish I was that clever to say the right perfect thing when I exit.
I'm pretty good at it when it's heated. I sometimes am too good at it.
I'm sorry you missed your Sephora sale. Whatever thing came up 6 months ago that we talked about.
Sorry about what I said. I'm gonna put Jessup on the stand.
I kind of wanted more from that scene.
That was enough.
No, I want a little more.
It's okay.
A little more.
I need my bat. I think better with my bat. Where's my bat?
I need my bat.
I put it in the closet.
Don't ever put that bat in the closet.
He's gonna find something. What's he gonna find? What's he gonna stumble upon? What? What is it?
Oh.
Stay here. I'm going to the office.
What's the? I missed the Sherlock Holmes moment. What did he see?
Remember back in his.
I saw their uniforms were clean, right? The Santiago's or his uniform
Yeah, I
was
remember
clean.
he looked at him.
And he's like, this has to go back to the parents.
Defense calls Colonel Nathan Jessup.
What an entrance.
After Dawson and Downey's arrest on the night of the 6th, Santiago's barracks room was sealed off and its contents inventoried. 4 pairs green socks, 3 OD green t-shirts.
Please
2
accord,
belts.
is there a question anywhere in our future?
Lieutenant Caffey, I have to ask you to state your question.
I'm wondering why Santiago wasn't packed.
Oh, wow.
We'll get back to that one in a minute.
Your Honor, these are the telephone records from Gitmo for September 6th. And these are 14 letters that Santiago wrote in 9 months, requesting, in fact, begging for a transfer. Upon hearing the news that he was finally getting his transfer, Santiago was so excited that do you know how many people he called? 0. Nobody. He was asleep in his bed at midnight, and according to you, he was getting on a plane in 6 hours.
Wow.
Everything he owned was hanging neatly in his closet and folded neatly in his footlocker.
That's a great detail.
The fact is, there was no transfer order. Santiago wasn't going anywhere. Isn't that right, Colonel?
Maybe he was an early riser and liked to pack in the morning. Maybe he didn't have any. Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer? Phone calls and footlockers? Please tell me that you have something more, Lieutenant.
Oh, he's making a decision whether or not to do it.
Yep,
He's gotta go forward.
Oh my God.
Do you have any other questions for me, Counselor?
Go forward. Do it.
Thanks, Danny. I love Washington.
Excuse me. I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not through with my examination. Sit down.
Woo! Woo!
A moment ago, you said that you ordered Lieutenant Kendrick to tell his men that Santiago wasn't to be touched.
That's right.
Any chance Lieutenant Kendrick left your office and said, the old man is wrong? When Lieutenant Kendrick spoke to the platoon and ordered them not to touch Santiago, any chance they ignored him?
We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Your men follow orders or people die. So Santiago shouldn't have been in any danger at all, should he have, Colonel?
You snotty little bastard.
The court will wait for an answer.
Oh my
If
God.
Lieutenant Kendrick gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, then why did he have to be transferred?
Did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job.
Did you order the code red?
You're goddamn right I did!
Got him.
Ooh. He's like, whoa, I got it.
And I did my job, I do it again. I'm gonna get on a plane and go on back to my base.
You're not going anywhere, Colonel. MPs guard the Colonel.
Yes, sir.
This is
expense.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull! You f***ed with the wrong Marine!
Colonel Jessup, do you understand these rights as I've just read them to you?
You have no idea how to defend a nation. All you did was weaken a country today, Caffey. That's all you did. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I'm a lawyer and an officer in the United States Navy. And you're under arrest, you son of a bitch.
Got him.
The witness is excused.
Hmm.
The witness is excused.
Damn, and look at all his medals and stuff. Like all his. Oh. I feel bad for the guy.
He got a kid killed.
I'll tell you why later. At the end. I'll tell you why.
On the charge of murder, the members find the accused not guilty. On the charge of conduct unbecoming a United States Marine, the members find the accused guilty as charged. The accused are hereby sentenced to time already served, and you are ordered to be dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps.
Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red. What did we do wrong?
It's not that simple.
What did we do wrong? We did nothing wrong.
Well, you did.
We were supposed to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. We were supposed to fight for Willie.
Mm-hmm.
I have to take these men over to personnel for some paperwork.
Here comes the salute you've been waiting for. Wait for it. No?
Harold?
Oh.
Sir?
You don't need to wear a patch in your arm to have honor.
10 hot!
The respect.
I gotta go arrest Kendrick.
Tell him I say hi.
Will do.
Aaron Sorkin, one of the things he's mentioned, which is like kind of a classic thing with writing, is that your villains can't know that they're villains. They have to think that what they're doing
is right,
is heroic and right. And like the way he phrased it, if I recall correctly, is your characters would make their case before God why what they are doing is the most, valiant and honorable thing, why it's the right move, why it's the right path. And he did such a great job with Jack Nicholson's character of like three-dimensionally making it clear like his values, and it's like you hear it and it's like, I get it. I don't like you, but I get it. You know what I mean?
And that's the only thing why I have sympathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I do understand the military background pretty well.
Yeah.
So I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And I understand what he was trying to try to do. No matter what, it's wrong. And somebody died in the process, which is horrible. But at the end of the day, this is a man who's been to war. He's like the front of the line, and he's constantly putting his life on the line. So therefore, yeah, I would want respect too for how far I've come and all the things I've seen that are like horrendous. And yeah, I would want people to fall in line, do as I say, because I'd be like, look, I'm trying to do my best, and the responsibilities that fall on my shoulders are so intense that most people couldn't even fathom what I've seen and been through. So it's almost like, I'm not going to sit there and weaken us. We're going to try to make you stronger. And even though it's the wrong move. You know what I mean? It was the wrong move. But I do feel his intentions, that's not what he wanted at the end of the day. That wasn't...
I don't think he wanted the kid to get killed.
No,
that
he
wasn't
didn't
his
want
intention.
that.
Yeah.
His intentions was like a tough love from a dad or whatever. And that's why, like, when I hear him speaking, I can't help but feel for him because I'm like, dude, oof, you're right, though. Like, you're literally protecting our country.
Sure.
And all this stuff,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to Marines, like, you know, they're like first line, right? And then, yeah, I'm sure they get like feel some type of way about the other branches, including like most people, when they think of the Air Force, for example, they're like, oh, the Air Force, you know, they say aim high, right? Why do they say that? And why do they always say, oh, the Air Force is snotty, right? Because they're in the sky, but not only that, their quarters and stuff like are a lot nicer. They're like everything they have is a lot nicer, right? Then you do like Marines, they're pretty rough. They're like almost bottom of the food chain when it comes to how they live and like the things they're given. Where then you have like also the Navy. Navy is pretty good for the most part. Navy is pretty good, but the Air Force is very luxury-ish, like very luxury.
Where are you going with this?
Okay. All I'm saying is when you're actually like a Marine and you're kind of your mindset, that's why he has such a problem with Tom Cruise, right? Because he's like, dude, the level that we're at, it's not the same due to the fact that I actually put myself on the line more than you do. And also I don't have the luxuries you have, therefore you will respect me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why he demands it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't know. And I do know like every branch, they all have like their little quarrels within each other as any cliques or whatever you want to, or whatever, right?
Sure.
So for me, I get it. But I do, like, I'm like, yes, obviously I'm rooting for the guys, right? Because it's like,
Our main characters.
due to the fact that, yes, when your order's said, you don't question it, you follow the order because like Jack said, he said, when orders are not followed, people die and things happen. That's true.
It's tricky.
And it is tricky.
It's tricky. It's tricky because of the Nuremberg defense. It's like you're just following orders, but if you're following orders that are wrong, it's still wrong.
Yes.
And that's the troubling part is like the young guy, I forgot his name, but the young kid who was like, wait, I don't understand. Like,
what do we do wrong?
You know, what did we do wrong? It's like that's the problem is like you still have to activate your moral compass even when you're given orders because it's like you can get court-martialed. You can end up in court accused of something that's like, no, but I was just following what he said. And it's like, no, but that was wrong. And now you're going to jail or you're going to be dishonorably discharged, et cetera.
But I just feel like when it pertains to military, it's very hard because there is that fine line. But it's very hard because you also when you're coming together as one, as they all did, you want to protect the people who are fighting by your side throughout the time frame. You know what I mean? Like you do want to sit there, stay loyal. You want to protect. Military people are very tight and close like that. So I get that, but yeah, you're right.
So let's talk about the movie.
Great film. Great film.
Rob Reiner is a name that is very famous, but I can't recall everything he has directed. This was such an engaging movie. He did such a fantastic job with this because I was engaged from start to finish on a court drama. Now, a lot of that is leaning on the brilliant writing of Aaron Sorkin because he's just such a talented writer. I watched, a few seasons of West Wing, and like it's so engaging. Everything he does. I loved Molly's Game and Social Network. Aaron Sorkin's just brilliant. And so them together, they made a very, very compelling film. Tom Cruise did a fantastic job leading the film with Demi Moore, and supported by I forgot his name. I just read it too. Kevin Pollak. And so not only that, you had a great supporting cast filling out all these different roles between, Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, they all did such a great job of bringing it to life. One of the things that I love about cinema is when they are able to, like, give you those nuanced looks. like with the close-ups or whatever, and it's just like
you feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. It's very human. It's like little character stuff. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about cinema is you can get in tight and everything reads. The most subtle looks will read, and they all mean something. And so, Kiefer Sutherland, when he was on the stand, on the witness stand, and you could just feel that tension, and it feels so real. The scene work that they were doing was so meaty and so great. The actor J.T. Walsh, I feel like we've seen him a million times. He's one of those actors that appears everywhere, or he died in 1998. He's been in so many things over the years. So anyway, everybody in this film did a fantastic job, with the material that they were given. And Tom Cruise, like you mentioned, everybody had you were enjoying his arc, the changes being made along the way. I thought it was a little bit hilarious how you were pointing it out, but I enjoyed it too.
Because this one was like, okay, there's some that you're like, okay, it's there, but this one was so enjoyable. I had to point it out because it was like, I'm having so much fun with this guy, and I'm really enjoying exactly every little dipshit thing he's doing. To the point where I want to smack him. And then I'm like, let's go. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? There's Tom Cruise films I've seen. I don't feel like that.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. I'm going to point it out.
I was wondering why Aaron Sorkin did not give into his temptation for a baseball analogy. It never happened. Like all this talk about baseball, and it's just a character thing, which is fine. It's respectable. It's his character thing, right? The one thing where it helped out was the bat was in the closet.
Yeah.
And he went to go get the bat and is like, I saw the uniform, and that triggered like the chain reaction of thoughts at the realization of, wait a second, if he was supposed to leave, why weren't his bags packed? And it's such a simple but beautiful detail because I didn't even ponder that possibility. But that's what makes him a great lawyer in this story. One of the things that had me wondering throughout is how much of this is purely fiction and how much of this is based on some like real events and stuff like that. Because it felt so real. And one of the cool things that Aaron Sorkin did, he's talked about how you don't necessarily need to know what the characters, because they have all this like high level vernacular, right? Of like lawyer speak. It's like, I don't exactly know what he's talking about. And it's almost meta, because at one point Tom Cruise says, he said the doctor said he died of this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Don't know what any of that means, but it sounds awful. And it's like, that's kind of what it's like when you're watching Aaron Sorkin. It's like Aaron Sorkin's work on display. It's like all these characters have such high level speak, and it's like, you don't necessarily need to know what it means, right?
You get it.
But you get it. You get it because the characters get it, and so you're kind of on the ride with them, and it's brilliant. It's obviously like one of Aaron Sorkin's most noteworthy pieces because it's just so strong from a writing standpoint.
Yeah.
The big challenges of something like this is like, it's a courtroom drama. How do you don't really
court fun?
Yeah, like you don't really get too many of these today that are this noteworthy that I'm aware of.
No.
Everything today is like Marvel, DC, high level, high octane action, PG-13. It's made for China and teenagers. It's like it's there's not a lot like this today that I'm aware of. You might get stuff that's artsy and people are into it, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, but generally speaking, you're not getting courtroom dramas that are this compelling and that just have you on the edge of your seat biting your nails, right?
Yeah.
And so I forgot where, so Rob Reiner. So for a moment, I forgot where I was going with this. It's like to take this material that's obviously great, but like keep you engaged with it and keep it compelling. Between him and the cast of actors, they did such a great job because it's a courtroom drama at the end of the day. How do you make that so interesting? There's 3 hours of Oppenheimer, and I was like, Oppenheimer doesn't hold a candle to this, and that's also more of a courtroom drama than anything. It's like, obviously, such a high bar that people try to, reach. So they did a fantastic job of keeping the camera moving when needed, getting the close-ups they needed. Like, the camera work was just enough to keep you focused on what was happening. Very, very smart use of it in subtle ways. That's not drawing attention to itself, but only enhancing the story. Anyway, you want to talk about the military some more?
No, that's okay. Okay, no, I do like how they started this off with, there's absolutely no way we can win, and it was based off of the law.
It's impossible.
And that, when he said that, he's like, I know the law. And whether it doesn't matter what I believe, I know the law. And it went from, I really love that because it just kind of goes to show like anything's always possible, right? And we know this, but we do get caught up in that fear of like, but I know this, and like it's not gonna budge.
Yeah.
And then you have to get creative.
Have you seen Training Day? In Training Day, one of the lines that Denzel says is, "It's not what you know, it's what you can prove." And it's like a line that stuck with me because it's like, that is so true. It's like, it doesn't matter what you know. Yeah. What matters is what you can demonstrate effectively to illustrate, to introduce doubt into the jury, whatever. It's like, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It's like the most important thing. And so that's what this movie did over the course of 2 hours and some change. So
yeah.
I really...
and how they did it was like, you're right?
It's chef's kiss, yeah.
Like, there's no way I would have been like, this is how they're going to prove it.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah. And what was great about it, too, is how it introduced everything, because immediately you're like, these guys are guilty, obviously. They're bad. They beat up this kid. Like, what the hell? But to have you feel empathy for them over the course of the journey, that was awesome. Because it's like, I started out hating them, and then I got them, and I understood where they were coming from. So, once again, great job, like, everybody involved in this movie. I thought it was fantastic. The only complaint I had was that there were some, I don't know if you caught it, but there were instances where, like, on the extreme close-ups where it was getting a little bit soft, like the focus was just a little bit soft, and I'm like, man, I love film, but it's one of those things where it's like, you don't know what you got until it's, developed. You have no idea what you got, but, like, it's still, like, the talent on display was so powerful that it didn't matter. So anyway, enjoyed the crap out of it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed with us. Thanks so much for hanging. I'm Jaby Kuwait. This is
Kristen STEPHENSONPINO.
Peace out.